It in the window.
I'm not sure, but either way, we've ended up in the position now where Huat Zai have managed to find that round despite losing the opening pick and a flurry of frags coming through on the retake. That's disappointing. It was Sakai that had it out on site, so losing that, there's a little bit of a reroute to go over and get it, and they just didn't have the time. That's quite depressing. For after, it felt like that was within their clutches for sure. They've come in with full deagles. They're going to look to shut down this pretty strong buy. I like Huat Zai's investment into AKs, but they've lost a player straight away.
The power of the Deeg. Oh, dear. God. Oh, dear. This has been 25 seconds. They've almost lost their whole team. What? That round lasted 30 seconds. That's longer than Dinko. Shorter than Dinko. Who knows? Either way, 1-1.
I'll tell you, there were a lot more explosions in that one, but it was a heavy burst of energy. You know, lots of pounding with deagle bullets just coming through. They were just absolutely shredding their opponents, and I love that. You know,
here in the about the game. Oh, sorry.
Oh, the deagle bullets just pounding against their opponents. That's what I'm talking about. You're such a dirty mind, Tom. Jeez. But when you look at that position, that's terrible for Huat Zai. You know, they came in 3 AKs. Oh, one more Oi. Just stand there. Just tank those shots. I like it. Wang missing the taps, but he gets him through the smoke. Excuse me? I was not through a smoke. Oh, come on, Counter-Strike. One particle of smoke had flowed up. That counts. But it looks like the Deagles are able to do some damage in the late round. I think they've just lost a little bit too much for this to really work. And you can see the SMGs cleaning it up to leave Neff in a 1v3. He has got control of the site. The problem is, no bomb. He's left that towards top mid. And so that is going to be a very easy round for after in the post play. But those 2 kills that came through might make a little bit of difference. They're certainly going to weaken that CT economy. Problem is, Huat Zai obviously 4-spot into that, so they won't get a chance to really punish them here. At least they shouldn't.
I'll be honest, I don't think we needed to see this in slow-mo. Like, wasn't that impressive? Quite a few shots missed. But, you know, PGL giveth and PGL taketh awayeth. There we go. It's going to be a fast play, well, ish, into the B site. Oi has spotted everybody. Just going to expend his Molotov, of course, in this round. They shouldn't really be taking any casualties. And with Marek holding on to short, looks like that's going to be the case. A bit of an awkward fight, but they're getting away with it. And okay, we got there in the end. A flawless round. After gaming are going to be making some extra cash. Money's looking good on their side. If they need a rebuy, they'll be absolutely fine. And for the T side, obviously after losing that second round, they're going to come in here with a bit of a weaker purchase than we'd like to see.
Were you also hearing music there, Tom? Was that just
I thought okay. I'd left a tab open on another stream or something. I was like, what?
I genuinely just went through all the tabs in Chrome like, what the? I'm loving it. Hey,
yeah, I like this.
This is a mirage
because I mentioned yesterday that we need some music for when things aren't as awesome. This worked. I feel a little bit more awake now.
This is a proper mirage vibe as well, though. I'm seeing it. I'm feeling it. Tom,
I feel like this is something that will be played in like one of those Star Wars bars as well.
It's like in Disneyland when you go to the kind of Moroccan side of it. Ooh.
Oh, I'm enjoying. We need a Frank movie like this.
Oh, picks up. Hey.
Oh, Ronan gets a kill. Wang, he's gonna trade one back.
I hope the stream can hear this music and we don't just sound like it's like psychos for a second.
Now it's on to Neff.
A 1v1. He's creeping over. He's on his way. He's got some lobby music going. He feels like he's in an elevator. He's loving it. And he's trying to elevate this team to new heights. Going in for the plant over towards the B side, faking it out, trying to pull these players out into the open. But look at this. Sakai's actually got a good play. I like this. He's sneaking over towards the A side. He's thinking it's going to be a big fake, but he'll realize pretty soon that it's not. And that's going to cost him a lot of time on the rotate. I won't criticize it too heavily. I think that was a really nice attempt by him to make a big brain play and rotate over towards that A site, but unfortunately, it's not worked. And now the music off because it's serious time, Tom. It's time to really get this game rolling because Sakai's coming in for the retake and Neff, he's peeking out. He could just play time, but he really wants to go for this. Whoa, he's peeking with a molly out. What? Did Sakai just take a lot of damage? What? Did Sakai nade himself? What happened?
Don't know.
Why did he just go to 23 HP? Has the universe has he been smitten by the gods? We need a replay of that. I don't know if we can, but what? I just saw him run down short and all of a sudden he was 23 HP. What's he done? Did I hallucinate? Was he low the whole time? I'm pretty sure he wasn't. I'm so confused. I just saw Neff peek with a Molotov and then Sakai lose a lot of health. It's like, this guy got laser vision or something?
Oh, the T's are leaving.
What the hell is going on?
I imagine there's a few tech issues. Obviously, with using VPNs and stuff to make it a little bit easier to connect to a lot of the servers, we do sometimes have some issues. So hopefully they'll be back relatively soon. Yeah, I'm not sure because I also thought I saw him take a lot of damage, but I don't really know how. That's an interesting prospect.
Yeah, if we
not the
if
best
we can
start to the game for Bulbasaur. 005. He's not quite made it to. He's not got his license to kill yet. I think that's the problem.
If we can get a replay, that would be ideal because I want to see what happened there. I've got the stream open, but obviously it's on delay, so I've got to figure out what went on. Ooh, those lights are bright. Yeah, that was very odd. So the start of this has been about as wild and wacky as we expected. I think it's fair to say we've got a big swing back and forth with Deagle's rounds being won out, where I feel like generally you wouldn't imagine the team has all too much of a chance. At least in the previous unit, started out with Huat Zai finding the opening duel, but I really felt like the short hold from Oi was enough to pull that right back into their favor. And yet Neff, you had it in the bag. You had it in the back pocket. Oh, here we go. Oh no, it was before this. It was when he's over on short. The stream is it's still a little bit behind. Because I'm pretty sure he was he was 76 HP and he had a frag grenade. That man has naded himself. He's actually naded himself. Oh my god.
For a lot as well. To do that much damage to yourself is actually quite difficult.
It landed on his feet like. I'm watching it back now. Yeah, he was 76 HP when he came up short, and then he all of a sudden went to 23. So that man has landed a nade on his own feet. Again, Sakai, player who first couple days we highlighted has the worst decision making we've ever seen in Counter-Strike, and now he's naded himself in a 1v1. So it's still a lot to improve on there for him.
I'm sure he'll get there in the end. It might take about 700 years, but he'll get there.
Yeah, he threw the nade and it bounced off the sight back onto him. Oh my god, that's so stupid.
Next level plays. If you kill yourself, your opponent can't get the kill. He's nerfing their stats, although he did end up getting killed anyway. We're gonna see the B push once again. Molotov in towards the truck. It's Oi ready and waiting. Neff has already found the opener and he's just hiding within the smoke. They should know that he's here. That smoke didn't appear on its own, but luckily he doesn't hit any shots. So even though somehow they didn't check for him, they're gonna get away with it. And Ronan, that's madness. There's a reason that's called the murder hole, but Bingo, I guess, wasn't prepared for anybody to push through it. Sakai,
he's still got a nade. Watch out.
Yeah, he's got to be careful here.
It's dangerous. Don't mess with nades, kids.
Maybe they should just tell him to not buy utility.
Have you ever seen the show? I don't know why the grenade just made me think of this. Have you ever seen the show Would I Lie to You?
Yes.
Let me figure out what his name is. There's a guest on that, and it's like if it sounds fake, it's real. Like he was Bill Mortimer, I think his name is. Pretty sure. This guy does his own dentistry, but I remember one of the days he told this story of how up on top of I think his kitchen cupboard or something like that, there was a random like thing he didn't know what it was, and somehow he ended up calling the police. The police came and went, I think that's a grenade from World War II. So they had the police got their supervisor, who got their supervisor, who got their got a detective, and like 10 different policemen had to come along to check if this was a grenade, and it was a live grenade on top of his kitchen countertop from World War II. It was just sat there for some reason. That was quite interesting. Be careful.
With how clumsy I am, I'd probably knock it off, and I'd end up blowing up my kitchen.
You'd knock it off.
Yeah,
knock off
a grenade.
He'd do that too.
There we go. They've taken the B site again. I think they've found where they're going to be pressuring for the majority of this match, as that is now 3 round wins in a row on the B site. And to be fair, there hasn't been too much resistance as of yet. They did kind of forget to check where Oi was, but that hasn't been too much of a problem. And Huat Zai looking good so far in this T side. And that's the thing. I genuinely, I think even individually, they look like the better squad. Like, sure, a lot of that comes off the back of, I think Ronan is one for the future. And I think this is a map that's definitely going to support his individual skill, allow him to be a little bit more crazy, go for picks and be aggressive. And that's the thing. It seems like the team are just aware of that. They're just going to allow him to go for these sort of plays. It seems like even with his initial peaks toward mid, they're now going to rotate him over and give him the chance to entry fire on this site as well. It does seem like they're trying to utilize the young star, which that's something I wanted to see on day one, was just get this man into the right positions. He's going to come out of Palace. Wang has already got the opening pick, though, and he's a little bit further behind. Ronan looks like he's just tempted to try and wide peek out of the Palace, but with the smokes down, he should be able to cover off the man planting the bomb. Neff has gone down, and so is Bulbasaur, straight through the smoke. Ronan now needing to have some pretty big impact, a big spam through. I don't think he's going to last much longer. Just 6 HP. Flash needs to hit some shots here. First goes his way, second as well, but his teammate's been lost in the trade. He needs to try and stop this bomb from being defused, and that's a lot easier said than done. Kai eventually will close him out. It's 4-4 after equalize. A good round from Wang and Sakai. The T's, they've got plenty of cash here, Mitch.
Plenty of dollar bills. It's been that back and forth game to start us off. I think this is very much what we expected. After got away with murder in that round, though. Like, first they get the kill on the ramp push through smoke by Wang. That's all right, but the one on the Bulbasaur, that was ridiculous. That was just a straight random spray by Bingo through the smoke. And those were the lifelines that they needed to get back into that one. I think actually if they had only gotten one through the smoke, they probably would have lost that round. And then didn't they lit another player, Ronan, down to like 6 HP or something as well. So it was a pretty good round for them without seeing anybody. Sometimes all the stars line up in your favor. It appears this was one of them. We'll tag up through connector. As you can see Huat Zai at the moment. They're playing a T-side I can't criticize too much, but I will look at Neff. He's pushed all the way up in apartments. Clearly thinks he's found a little bit of a weakness towards B. And he's causing a lot of noise. But I think the fact that he's gone forward and poked there and then fallen back gives away the fact that they're not looking to push into the B side. That fake of the flash going over is going to be sold for the next 5 seconds. And then after we're going to realize this is not a B take. Why would he push all the way up, go back, flash, and then disappear? And I'd be surprised if they don't rotate over towards that A site and leave a solo B player.
And for now, they're keeping it fairly standard. Already, though, Splash Kid just peeked wide into ramp. That is oh, sorry, Sakai. Never mind. Oh, cool. No, it makes perfect sense. Sakai. Peek from Bingo, also on his own. Can we get any more solo peeks? Yeah, we can. Wang's gonna do one. This is a good round. That's how you play Counter-Strike, guys. Just all peek, one by one. Wide peek as well. Make sure it's a wide peek. It has to be a wide peek. Otherwise, that would be silly. Don't shoulder peek the angle to check if someone's there. Just swing. Just swing.
I know what you're thinking. What if there's 4 people there? Kill them.
Headshot them all, even if you got up.
Yeah, absolutely. I know what you're thinking as well. Shouldn't you get your teammate to flash for you? No, because it might blind you. That lets them know you're gonna push. So don't ever use flashes. Just swing wide, headshot everybody, easy game. At least that's the methodology after going for. So I think first of all,
really.
First of all, that AWP is so visible. So the reaction time, or the read on the situation was terrible. I know we can see the team, but the reality was in the positions they were in, when I called that, Huat Zai could so easily have been pushing B. They still had 3 players on mid. They had full mid control. That could have been a push down short for a B take. But the second that you see that player in apps making noise, then you heard him run back, because you have a player on short who definitely heard that, and then a flash goes over. That's a fake. Now, they waited like 20 seconds and didn't even jump peek apps once. You've got flashes, flash it, jump peek. No one's there, rotate one over. You've got an A stack ready to go. So also communicate that to your A players so Sakai doesn't go, I'm going to run up on top of stairs. Like, that was just stupid. That was a stupid round from after. They did everything wrong. And I guess that's what we've come to expect from this team.
Well, they can always win one back with the Deagles. That's how this game works. Oy's actually in the corner. Marek might just do this all on his lonesome. And that... Oh, no. He's actually going to do it. He's just got 3 kills. Now, Oy, all he has to do is get 1. That's all he needs. And there he is. There's the 1. He's going to get the 2nd. Hey, don't worry, Mitch. Everything's all right in the end.
This is just... I don't enjoy this. It's 5-5. I don't know who's
Hey, I want to see this from Marek's position, There's the first. No trade.
This is the thing. He hit some 6 shots, 100%.
Oh, there we go. Splash. It's the same thing as last round, though. It's like all the T's are now peaking one by one.
But not only that, Tom, you've just put your opponents down to a weak buy. Let's push B fast with an AWP. If I call that a match,
Yeah.
I like being completely serious here. If I call that in matchmaking, or if I'm face it queuing, you know, I'm level 9. It's not the highest ever. I will get roasted when someone goes, but they're on Deagles and we have an op. Be like, yeah, rush B, just rush B. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, you're gonna get roasted. You're gonna call you a moron. So I don't know what the call was there or how it was listened to, but sure, look, these things happen.
Oh, Ronan's going to go down early into the round. He hasn't done much over the last few. He was 5-5. He's now 5-8. So, well, by that regard, he's pretty much done nothing. The T's, they've thrown down some utility as if they're going to push short. They've smoked off the window. They've smoked off connector. And they're going just straight through apps. I would like to see them put some pressure on short because the apps pushes so far have been a bit bad, is the way I'll put it. They've not worked too well. Always jump spotting again. Oh, he should have seen them by now, but okay, then never mind. He doesn't get hit anyway. A little bit of luck that goes a long way. Neff seems to be just trying to almost hold off rotations, but not really doing anything. He's just sat there. I felt like he's been way too slow, and there's 10 seconds. Like, this round's already over. There's no chance for him to really do anything unless, well, they might actually get the bomb down. There you go. Now just kill everyone else. There's the first kill. Now they should just be able to get onto the bomb, defuse this without him really doing anything. If he gets out this door, I'm going to be so annoyed. No, there we go. Sakai's holding it. It was just too late. Like, if he's going to make that sort of flank play, it needs to be sooner because his teammates basically needed to double entry that site completely clean to have any chance of winning the round. Also, I don't like if you're going to smoke window and deep connector, take short. Like, have the split available to you. Instead, they just go all the way back into the apartments. It's a bit of a weird round for them, I'll be honest. And the CT side are seemingly able to capitalize off of a lot of these positions. They don't even check. What? They don't check. So they didn't send anyone short, and then they just don't check it when they push. These guys play weird.
Mm-hmm. It is odd. I think just generally what we're seeing is very... It's very much what I'd expect in a way from these teams. Like, we are being quite critical of them. And I think comparing them to someone like Beyond, Tyloo, we expect them to have hard protocols for any situation. For after Huat Zai, it is a situation where they're obviously not as well drilled, as well practiced when it comes down to their strategies. And so you will see things like in the middle of a round, you can get lost in terms of timing. A couple seconds here or there is what makes a difference between a good flank and a completely wasted one, like what we saw in the previous round. And it can be hard to really nail that. It takes time playing with your squad, understanding when you've pulled rotations. A nice shot by Bobasaur. Deagle's in play so far. That's been the winning formula. He's only taken half HP as he bails out. Like, he was just shot at, naded, and he's good to go. Still holding on to that palace control, leaving them open. Oh, God. Ooh. This is terrible. Two great shots by Huat Zai. M4 retrieved. Sakai is so low, somehow gets away with two. Nice shot by Marek. Pulls it back into the realm of plausibility. It scares me. The position Neff's in, though. Oh, he's not going to push through the murder hole, and that's a good decision.
Oh, the flank coming in all the way around. The box at the back of the site currently being covered by Splash, and they do have a fair amount of utility. They're going to throw smoke onto the bomb. Now, they have a Molotov. There's only really one place where I'd throw a Molotov on this site, but by the looks of it, they're not going to use it at all, and Splash K is just going to try and hide in the smoke. It's ambitious. Oh, he's actually going to get the knife. I don't even know if they'd have time. He's just won the round. He's won the round off that knife kill. I can't believe that's just happened. Oh, my God. That's a big brain play from him, but I'm very surprised that they shot him, right? So that made a sound.
One of those things, Tom. It's one of those things. A wild round. Now, Huat Zai have gotten away with murder. Deagle's coming in. All those entries they managed to find. This shot was great by Bobasaur. He I don't know how he survived that either. Ronan with another in towards the window, opened up the site completely. Yeah, Sakai got 2, but he couldn't expect... I didn't even expect him to get 2, to be honest. That was ridiculous. That was just straight up ridiculous.
Well, this is going to put the money back into a bit of an awkward position for After Gaming. Now, Oi has some spare cash. He could just buy a rifle here and have enough to buy into the next round anyway. At least bolster this a little bit. And considering what they've managed to do with just Eagles, I'm still not feeling too confident for Huat Zai. Then again, I'm seriously hoping they don't just go for another B rush. It really, like, some of their B plays later into the round have been all right. It's just consistently them trying to just push directly through apartments. They're not using short at all, even though it's something that they can have for free, which, yeah, I don't agree with that. I think if you're given a lot of mid control, utilize it. Like, we've seen Ronan get into the window plenty of time. Hold the rotations from there if you want to. But realistically, if you're able to get short for free and then you push from the apartments and don't check short, you're a madman. No, that's pretty much that. Interestingly, though, Neff has managed to get into the sandwich. So he's in a pretty good position here. And we're going to spot them jump spotting. But realistically, they haven't seen anything yet. So there's so much control already gathered up. I think Wang might have just fallen into a position of saving this all. But he's just going to get wrecked. I feel like his reaction has been a little bit slow today. That's a couple of times now that someone's just managed to run around the corner and just dome him. And he hasn't even been able to react.
It's funny because we were just talking yesterday about Wang's ability when it comes down to playing with that big, long gun. He's been able to hit some really flashy shots previously from what we've seen of him. Yeah, today has not been his day so far. Six to 7. It's one of these games that really, when you look at it, you're expecting all 3 maps purely because nobody's really favored. And I think what we were talking about in the pre-show pretty much has been summed up so far. Both of these teams are messy. They're on roughly the same level. And we've seen that. I think we've seen as many Deagle rounds won as we have rifle rounds. So that sums it up pretty much.
That's not really a statistic I want to hear, but I'm not going to disagree with it. This round looking a little bit more standard. Bomb down in spawn, so that will have to be retrieved. And you can see that Huat Zai are just trying to play a bit more of a default. Then again, though, after have been the least proactive team I've ever watched. I don't think they've taken any control anywhere. They've never pushed ramp. I think the most we've seen is once they pushed Palace. We've not seen them move into apartments, and they definitely haven't challenged into mid. It's almost like a team that has just been told, like, you're playing B, you're playing A, you're playing middle. And that's the game. Like, that they haven't tried to do anything with aggression, which actually surprises me because of how common it is, especially on this map. Already, though, the AWP of Wang has spotted out one. He goes peeking into the angle. It's been the same result almost every time. The second he tries to peek that angle, he dies. So I feel like he needs to at least be set up with some utility. It's just dry peaks every single time. And
you are asking for way too much there, Tom. Way too much. Let me go to HLTV real quick. Let me go to the live scoreboard. Let me go to advanced. Flash assists for the CT side. Take a guess, Tom. How many?
There are
1. T side. Guess how many?
2.
Yes, 2. Very good. 3 flash assists we've seen so far. And yeah, that pretty much sums up the game. Something that we were critical of many times previously for these teams is that I genuinely think the only T flash assist they have is rushing at ramp. That is the only one. I'm not even joking. That is genuinely all they have. The only other flashes that they've thrown have been faking out B, which was just chucking a flash over and then going A. Of course, that worked for Bingo, but luckily there was a second player there to shut it down. Good protocols. Playing together, playing off each other, and, well, running into a Deagle, but again, Splashka's there to take the kill and finish it off. 9-6, well handled by Huat Zai in that final round. I will say it was probably the cleanest one that we've seen, although they do tend to look a little bit better when you abandon strategy and go for the more direct plays, the rush out A ramp, or as we saw previously on Train from, I think it was after, rush out T main. those are the rounds where they come out looking better because it's a strategy everyone can understand and it's very hard to deviate from. If you're told to rush out A ramp and you go slow out B, you're doing it wrong. So there's only really one thing you can do in that instance. And in terms of individuals, these guys are good. They are definitely good. They're better than me. That's for damn sure. But when it comes down to tactics and team play, that's where it really falls apart for us.
I'm curious if Blair's actually has his headphones on, but like after, I want to know if After Gaming are an organization or if this is just some people playing together. Okay, Blair says he doesn't think they're an org. Well, that makes sense because otherwise I feel like this team would make some changes because I just don't like Oi's playing relatively well, but the rest of the team aren't, and I don't think he's meant to be the one like just mad fragging out of his mind. Now they're playing a retake B strategy. It's always going to be tough, and they haven't bought a kit. So I don't. If you ever play a retake strategy without a kit, I don't want to watch that because it's just not a smart way to play the game. It really does mean you have to be super fast with the retakes, and on this B site, that is a lot easier said than done. Now, for the T's, they've invested a little bit into utility, so there is going to be a smoke available. I'll be interested to see where it's going to land. I imagine just onto the window, but they run before it. What was the point? Don't buy a smoke. Like you've run before the smoke goes up, and someone's died to the exact position you're smoking. That is somewhat pointless. I guess it buys them a little bit of time. Oh, he's going to go running through. Well, they're so aggressive in this position. Spiel's just tried to kill his teammate, but don't worry. Ronan Baby has got this one sorted. That was a mess.
Spiels just turns around and tries to shoot Ronan. I love it. Tries being the keyword. He failed.
It's a good thing he wasn't good with his aim, otherwise he would have killed his teammate. It's like he didn't even shoot one bullet either.
Yeah, he started spraying. Well, I think that's because someone was probably shouting behind from Oi pushing through it. So he was like, "Oh, he's behind me." I love that. But the reaction was so late as well. Like the guy was dead for like 3 seconds. Oh, it's beautiful. So yeah, look, anyways, they take the pistol.
Friendly fire.
We're looking at just Galil's AK. This economy system is so trash. Oh my god. Like who designed this? And it's the thing, some of the decisions that are made, it just seems like people have no idea what their game is about in many, many games. And I think this economy, it was a good experiment. Let's move on very quickly. Let's get that.
I don't know. I feel like this economy was intentional and it was for casual players.
Yeah, well, 100%.
I want people to be able to buy all the time. Everybody should have a fair chance to buy guns.
Well, I think in a way there's no problem with gearing the game towards casual players. Give us a competitive rule set then. Get a separate. Is this man really using MP5? Is that happening? This never. I never see this weapon used ever. And he's got the rat skin as well. Ugh.
Well, that's.
What are you doing? Oh, okay. His teammate was covering it. Okay, that's fine. Benefit of the silencer. Sakai didn't know what side he was being shot from. Genuinely, the only time I've ever seen that be a thing. He had no idea. He thought he was being shot from the left. Yeah, I didn't realize his teammate was covering that from that wide of an angle. That was a decent play. I like it.
Well, they've managed to get the advantage for now. Oi's found his way into the window, but I feel like it should be expected. B site, they've just gone running in. Ooh, okay, we got there in the end. Bingo manages to get the kill, but he's very low. Oi's in a good position. Nef's dead. Eventually. But the trade will be coming in from Ronan. And now it's up to Ronan alongside Splashgate. This is a very common angle. I hope they check it, but I have a feeling they might not. The nade, I think he actually whiffed that nade and it almost kills him. And neither of them are checked. Superb. Bingo, he's going to spray them both down. They almost accidentally killed him. And that would have potentially won them the round.
That would have been beautiful. And poor Sakai in that position, pushing through the smoke, just being tagged up by that MP5 so much in the legs as well, so it took him ages to die. And in the spot now on 10-7, yeah, Huat Zai got to be a little bit disappointed. This goes in what? Yeah, to come into this and obviously have yourself a position where you win at the pistol and you just get wrecked round 2. It's what happens when you give a bomb plant away in the pistol, but it is always upsetting, and they've gone for a force buy, but this is the difference, right? You lose the pistol as the T's, but you get the bomb plant. You come in with better weapons than your opponents. You saw it in that round there, right? They have SMGs. T's are like, yeah, Galils and AKs, no worries. We got proper rifles to play with. Then the CT side goes for a force buy afterwards, and what do they get? Pistols, deagles. That's it. A little bit of utility to back them up. That's just ridiculous. There was a time, Tom, where winning the pistol basically got you 3-0 as a start. I was all right with that. You got a force by round 2, advantage towards the team that won the pistol round, and then third round you were kerplunked, you were eco. But here we are. And as I was saying, there's no problem with gearing it towards casual players. In fact, it's necessary, right? We need to have a casual player base, 100%. But what we also need is something that's designed specifically for competitive.
All I want to see is that bonus you get for losing the pistol. I think that should only go to the CT side. I think that's all it would, because you have the bomb plant. I think if you remove that, I think the game's actually not that bad. It's just that second round bonus that just sucks. And I don't really know why it was added, to be honest. I don't
like
see a need for
resets.
it.
I really like resets. I feel like if you win a round, you lose your loss bonus. I think that was good because it punished you and it really caused consistency, and it made so. Here's the thing: I can see a potential argument from someone during the design process that said, "Well, listen, what's the most epic part of Counter-Strike? Well, it's when we get these buy rounds, right? They're epic. They're what people care about. So." Why don't we make more buy rounds, more hype, more epic moments? But the problem is you devalue them by having every single round being a buy round, or at least a lot of them. Whereas when you're reset, it means that you come into a round where you're like, if they lose this, they are screwed. So it really matters. Your edge of your seat. And if they do lose it, if they just find one round here and then they don't have a repeatable strategy, they deserve to lose. Like that. That's how Counter-Strike
also
work.
the biggest thing as well is like it's the same with like deagle rounds now. Like because you get so much more loss bonus, a deagle round comes up so often that it's not as impressive. Like whereas before, like you had teams like Envy who would take big risks going for those force buy rounds, and when they won it, it was incredible. That's why that happy deag play, granted, it's incredible in any situation, but that was so incredible then because of the risk that came with it.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like you see deagles every other round. It is very, very common.
It's made CIS Counter-Strike hell to watch.
That is true. Well, we are going to see a buy coming up for Huat Zai. They are still in the lead, but that's not. Is that twice that's happened now, where they win the pistol and yeah, they have won the pistol in both halves and lost the second round in both halves. So. If After Gaming lose this, they have been given the greatest start you can possibly get to both halves of this map. Which that would be atrocious, because that's so hard to come back from, because it just completely wrecks your economy. And not even just for like those 3 rounds. So we talk about those 3 rounds where you basically have the force buy, the full eco, and then the weak buy. But chances are that weak buy is still not good enough. So you can even go 5-0 or 5-1 down in a lot of these early stages. Now, they did manage to break back last time going into round number 5. So it was only 3 in a row. But at the same time, if you look now, After Gaming should have an opportunity to break them here. And it's still not great. You don't have the AWP in play just yet. Ronin's playing with absolutely no utility. In fact, he just went for head armor and a rifle. In fact, 3 of the members of the team have gone for head armor here. I personally don't agree with that. I'd like to see some utility brought in for the squad, but then again, they don't use it. So I guess that's the one thing. I always sort of joke around with the idea of I never want to see someone die with a full belt of utility, because what's the point? You've just wasted money. So if they're not going to use it, I guess don't buy it.
I mean, it makes sense, right? I used to play with someone that bought a decoy every round and oftentimes didn't even throw it. It's like, why are you doing that? All those
be left with $50.
That was genuinely the argument that they made. I was like, well, if you are left with $50 across 10 rounds. That's a nade in a flash, isn't it? They're smoking a flash even. You chuffed. Yeah, it's not the ideal start, especially when you lose the pistol round, or you win the pistol rounds, excuse me, and then you come through with such a weak performance to follow them up. I can excuse it certainly on this half, the previous not so much. Previous was Deagles that took them down, but then again, Deagles are taking them down constantly.
Yeah, the Deagles took them down in 30 seconds. That was a really bad second round, but yeah, this half I actually don't mind a lot of the stuff that they were doing, but yeah, it's sort of like it's always going to suck facing off against an equal to better buy when you win the round, but that's just what the economy does at the moment. I guess it works for both sides, so take that as you will. Like technically both teams are in the same boat.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be getting back into things here. So I imagine that was just a small tech issue that's been sorted. Maybe a ping spike or somebody needing the bathroom. Maybe a pizza was delivered. Who knows? Who knows? It could be absolutely anything.
It's an odd theory, but yeah, maybe. Greasy hands on your mouse.
I know for a fact that there are players who have called a technical pause just to go get their food.
I mean, it is technical, right? It's a bio. Man's got to eat.
Yeah, maybe just do that not during the game. I'm not saying he did, but people who do.
I'm sure there are.
10. Ease have got mid control. This is something I mentioned in the first half, that we saw Huat Zai be basically given mid control for free and not utilize it at all. And smokes are going to fall. We have deep connector smokes. Now, this is something that really infuriated me when we saw Mirage played earlier in the tournament, was they didn't know how to throw this smoke. Well, both teams have utilized this smoke throughout the games. That is a positive, Mitch.
It is. Not patronizing at all. They know how to throw a smoke. Here's one by Spiels as well to block off so he can peek out to short, and he's managed to find one. Bulbasaur, oh no! Ooh. They found the kills but then traded back. Neff's got to have a big hold. He's got to pick up at least one here, but they both fall. Oh, what a disaster. It was After Gaming come through with a massive play. Wang on 3 kills. Looking a lot better coming into this T side, that's for sure. And they tie it up 10-10. Huat Zai, I've got to feel a bit deflated. You know, they've gotten a good start in both halves by winning the pistol. And now all of a sudden that lead is just completely gone.
Wait, even just in that round, they had the man advantage, and I don't know if it was just that everybody lost their duels, but in a 3 versus 2, if you pick that one together, you should at least get 1 kill. And definitely not just lose both at once. So, yeah, good round from the T's to bring that one back. But realistically, you have to kind of have a look at the CT side and just say, well, what went wrong there? Where should you have waited for some of the other players to rotate in? The answer being yes, of course. But here we go. We're going to have the investment into some pistols. We got 4 Deagles, Mitch. There's 4 Deagles. So that, in your eyes, is a instant victory.
It meets the formula. I think in the previous round, the issue was that they had Neff out on the site, and he was kind of trapped being pushed down from potentially apps and short. So the player in kitchen wanted to swing to help him, but as he swung out, there was a player already there, and Neff was on the other side of the site, so couldn't help him. So they basically, where they tried to take a 2v1 fight, they ended up in 2 1v1s that they both lost. So that's definitely screwed them over quite a bit. Haven't lost those duels. They basically lost this round because the Deagles, they haven't shown up. They haven't followed the magical formula of Asian Counter-Strike, because it's a 1 versus 4 now for Neff. If he could just find a rifle, that would be ideal.
Well, his teammate just died holding a gun, so he could just go back to the A site and there is a gun waiting for him. But I guess not. It looks like he's going to try and get an exit kill. They've got the money to buy into the next round anyway. Not sure this is the route I would take to try and get back, but he is just trying to take the fights at this point, and he's dead for sure. Sakai is going to hit the headshot. If he didn't, Wang was behind as well. Got to be careful of the Wang from behind. 11-10. Now we're going to see a complete change of setup. A double AWP brought in. I'm hoping this is something of somewhat of a play rather than just desperation, which is something that you do see quite often, especially within this tournament so far. I've mentioned it many a time, but Tiger, for example, love to try and bring in a double up setup, and it doesn't work for them at all. So
well, Neff's been tagged up early on the B approach. They're just going to back off after. I like that approach. Over on the T side, like they're not going to overcommit. Knowing that they have already tagged that player up and that he's got an op, they don't want to hard fight that, and I respect the decision. They're holding in for any kind of mid control or A push that might come in. And you could see that, right? You push the player out of apartments. Now the A guys get a little bit curious. They start to push up and try to find some info themselves. Ronan, baby, he's spamming. I thought he was up on top of the wood. And so maybe he would go in for a bit of an aggressive play, but Bingo won't be finding any free opportunities just yet. By the looks of things, this is going to be a B take with a late flank coming in behind on A. But they've managed to shift over, taking underpass control, moving through T-spawn. Ronan... or Bingo, excuse me, still holding that angle for the entirety of this round. So we will see an A crunch coming through. And the CT's not in the best of positions to deal with this. So Ronan tries to reposition himself, pushing up on ramp, all the way up, in fact. I thought he was going to tuck in the corner, but he goes for the fights instead.
Splashgate is going to have a pretty big job, but Bulbasaur winning a battle in the connector actually makes things interesting. Splashgate's trying to do it all on his own. You've got to be really careful of spam through that smoke. Nice shot from Spiels. He's in fact going to get the second. That's ridiculous. Shouldn't have got away with that, and Wang can't do anything. It is going to be the scoreline equalized once again. Try and look for some extra utility, maybe some extra weaponry if they can. But the double up setup will be kept through. And yeah, some pretty decent kills coming in, both from Bulbasaur and from Spiels at the back of the site. Like I said, like Ronan going down was definitely an issue, but I can understand like why he did it. Like that was in a position where he's sort of stuck in no man's land, and I think this stems from the same problem that I mentioned, and it's something that's very surprising to me. Maybe because I have watched so much CIS Counter-Strike in my time, but they're not going for any information. Like that was the first push that we saw, was a slight peek in towards the ramp. In the pistol rounds, they're much more proactive, but it seems like when we get back to the rifles, they don't fight for too much. Bulbasaur now maybe trying to make a bit of a change with that, as they do go facing into middle, and actually Neff now finding the opening pick. Now this is where you don't need to peek anymore. He's still going to take that risk anyway and get away with it this time, but you've already got yourself those openers. Now fall back into the passive stance you had in the previous couple of rounds.
I want to see Huat Zai do exactly that. And you can see it on your screens here. It's a nice passive stance indeed. Possibly the only overextension being Neff so aggressively on short, but it's good information for the team to continue to have. He's not going to be smoked off either. They've gone for the connector play. They've gone... Oh, nice shot by Wang. They've smoked off Con, but it's top Con. And so both of these players can actually peek through. There's... Oh, Splash is missed. They know there's a player close because Wang spotted him. A 2v3. Huat Zai, you have really just thrown this one away. Ronan baby at least able to find Wang caught off guard, but the swing there, 2v1 fight easily taken by Bingo and Marek. And now it's all down to Spiels. He's got a lot to do.
Inderia onto the ramp. He's actually got a second one as well. Oh, it's going to peek into it. Marek takes the fight, and they're going to win the round. Or should I say, Huat Zai are going to lose the round. I genuinely don't understand the decision-making of this team whatsoever. Like, sure, there were a couple of whiffs mixed into that, but in a round where you have no information, you don't push at all. In a round where you are in a 5 versus 3, you all play aggressively. Like, what?
So, not only that, Tom, what happened was, they took the pick onto Neff on short, and then Bulbasaur went into connector. Like, they had one player Con looking for the underpass play. So, At that point, the clear decision, you've lost short control. They could come through mid. There's 35 seconds left, 40 maybe. Pull back to sites, right? No. These guys push straight into connector with 2 and hold down those aggressive spots. It's just ludicrous.
The thing that's irritating is if they do that at the beginning of the round, I don't really have a problem with it. But it's just because they do it when they're already winning. That it just doesn't make sense. It seems like they have these strategies in their back pocket, but they use them once they're already like winning the round. Ronan with the Deeg always seems to cause problems, but his teammate in Neff has gone down in the connector. Push coming in from behind. Spiels gets away with it. The 2 tap to the leg, a kill. I'm not really sure how, but you know, that's Counter-Strike. Now the C's going to go running the gauntlet back towards the B side. There is going to be a man waiting, and it's Spiels with the rifle. It would be pretty much this game in a nutshell if they did manage to turn this one back around. Spiels would need to get a double kill, and it's just whether or not they're going to expect him. They do have Molotov, but unfortunately it's on the player on the other side, so they're just going to have to hard check this angle. They don't check it at all. What? Well, he tries to check close and ends up just jumping to his doom. It's left onto Ronan. Now he has the opportunity for a couple of 1v1s. Now the first one's going to be just around this corner. He is going to shoulder peek it, but Wang isn't going to miss this time. He's been much better on the T side, which for an AWPer is fairly surprising. It's not something you see too often. Now that round in isolation for Huat Zai was just a few pistols. So the fact that it comes down to just 2 players for the T side really isn't too bad for them at all. But looking at the scoreline, they need to do more.
Yeah, most certainly. For after 13 to 11 is a fantastic scoreline. They have been given every opportunity into this game. Like, Huat Zai are really showing why they're the bottom team. And it's amazing to me, Tom. It really is. Because remember, this is online Counter-Strike. You're a mix? Sure. You can still have a coach who's IGLing for you. There's no way to enforce it, right? They made the rules that coaches can talk during the RMR events, at least Road to Rio. And there's no way to enforce it across the board. So they could very easily have a coach sat there, IGLing for them, fixing up these little mistakes, and giving them that edge. And if they do, that's a disgrace. They need a different coach. Or they need to listen to him. I don't know. The position that they're in at the moment is like they've got decent players from what we've seen of Huat Zai. Like, it's not like these guys miss every single shot. Okay, granted, the previous buy round they whiffed a lot, but that isn't happening every single time. It's just like, whoa, some of the strategies are so odd. Now they're a man down. They're trying to make up for that 2 men down, in fact. And so Ronan goes pushing into ramp.
Ooh.
It was a risky play. He got drop shotted by Bingo. So it's unfortunate. But good damage done to Bingo and Oi, at least. If Balbo finds this is doable. This is very, very winnable. If Spiels manages to hit a couple of these shots from Connector and take down the... Oh, he took down Wang! Both players are now like 1 HP. This is so winnable for them. And it looks like Huat Zai might just have gotten away with this round.
They probably shouldn't have done, but the T's have given them 1v1 duels. Bulbasaur doesn't miss a beat. Nice round from him. He's had a quieter performance, that's for sure. And the first time, maybe the last time we're seeing him with an AWP. They've definitely done a very good job of shutting down Ronan as well. There's been no shenanigans from him so far in this match. A few Deagle kills have been the main highlight of his game. They are going to bring it back when it matters. 13 to 12. Their buy comes out slightly weaker than their opponent. Still going to be an AWP in play for Wang. The jump up comes over to spot over the top of the smoke. Flashbang's being expended, and because of that, Splashgate is going to have to fall back, play slightly more passive. No, maybe not.
Come to my attention, Tom, that you don't know what game we're watching here. There is no such thing as a player having to do something. They'll do whatever the hell they want. And apparently what Huat Zai want is to throw this round away. Give the advantages over towards after. Aggressive peaks on mid, completely falling apart for them. Does After Gaming have the map to play with? 2-man stack towards the B site. One smoke was thrown, 20 seconds ago? And that has caused a pretty much full rotate towards this B site. A complete abandonment of A. And as Ronan comes back up to check this, if he goes on top of stairs, he's dead. If he comes down below, he's dead. The smokes luckily will block him out from certain... Well, he thought about pushing through that. That would not be the right call.
Ooh! Okay. Let Bulbasaur have the orb. Damn, the man's hitting shots at the moment. They're going to try and plant. Oh, the spray's coming through, but it's not done anywhere near as much damage as they might have hoped for. I'm going to desperately need to find a pick, and there's a potential for one here. Sakai's waiting on the angle. You'd expect him to win this duel, but he gets peeked wide, and Spiels is going to hit the shot. Somehow they're now in an advantageous position with Ronan now connecting onto another. It's left onto Wang. They know where he is. The Orp's holding the angle. The bomb's being defused. He hits the first. He's going to peek out. He's going to get it as well. It's an ace for Wang. The T-side Orp comes through again, and after gaming, etching their way ever closer to a victory. They were in a 5-on-3. It then comes back to a 3-on-1, and the one wins.
The big Wang absolutely wrecking these guys. You love to see it. Look at these peaks. Swinging right into an op, no problem. He
What is Bulbasaur doing?
Holding it for the...
He unscoped.
Oh, did he?
He was moving. I'm sure he was moving.
I think he shot. I'm pretty sure he shot at him and it was moving afterwards because he switched to his knife. I'm almost certain. If he unscoped, then he threw that round completely. But I'm almost certain that he shot at him and was moving afterwards. Either way, Huat Zai have just wrecked themselves. Another lifeline just choked away. They don't want it. And a 5v5 with pistols. Deagles to work with for Huat Zai. Now, I've seen this round before, Tom. Huat Zai win it. And actually, after thinking about going in towards the A side, not a bad call considering the buy they're up against. They've learned the lesson of what Huat Zai did, but unfortunately, running into Deagles is never going to be ideal. Connector control in favor of the CT side. They take down one, but they don't realize Ronan's still here. If they take Ronan, they're going to go A, surely. They've got the picks. They'll presume the other players are stacked up on the B side. That gives Splashka the opportunity to come through. You're never going to expect a third in connector, but Wang hits the shot after being tagged twice by the Deagle. That's what keeps them alive in this one. That's what gives them a chance, because now it's a 3v1. And Spiel's just going to look to save a rifle if he can.
Oh, it's looking like the beginning of the end. They will have enough to buy into the next round, so realistically, he can look for a gun, go hunting, try and do a bit of extra damage. Wang has been incredible in this second half, though. I think he was on, like, 7 kills in the first, and I believe he's now on, like, I want to say 26. Galil picked up. Probably not his end goal, if anything. He might be able to catch Bingo. Nice shot, at least. Although retrieving that weapon, he's got to make the jump, which he will. So that's at least an upgrade eventually. Again, making things costly, but for after, it doesn't really matter as long as they continue to win these rounds. He is on 26 kills. That is a fantastic turnaround from what was a poor first half for sure, losing a lot of duels and now winning them some crucial rounds. 15 to 12. Huat Zai, they need to aim for overtime. Of course, this is their map choice, right? I want to say.
Yeah, it's Huat Zai's map choice. Next up is Inferno, choice of after. And Tom, just to return to our point from previous... Oh, well, hold on. The push is coming in. Let's give After some respect on this B. A take. They've team killed. Marek's taking down Sakai with a nade. This guy's not been having a good day with team nades. Not at all. He naded himself. He's being naded by a teammate. That's how things go. The fast B push not working at all. 15 to 13. 2 rounds away now. Huat Zai looking for overtime. And Tom, since we last spoke about flashes, there has been a total of... Are you ready for this? You ready? 2 extra flash assists. Wow, that's over maybe like 15 rounds. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, there's now Bulbasaur, who has been opping at a lot of the time, has got 2 flash assists. That's the only one for Huat Zai. And Bingo has got 3 flash assists. And those are the only ones for
Bingo.
after. So yeah, it's abysmal when it comes to... I mean, that is something you can judge teams on straight away. And that they are not playing supportive at all. And I guarantee you, most of those flash assists, even though there's only been 5 in this game, are from rushing A and flashing over and getting the opening kill. That's it. But through the smoke, it seems like apparently we're going to get much more to work with.
You got 1 HP. Stop peeking. madman. Why? Why? This man is an idiot. Like, it's a 5v1. Like, why are you doing that? You're just handing away kills. Hello.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a very odd decision to just continue to swing on through. Sometimes it happens, but hey,
Wait,
Tom, you know what?
Hand.
Got a little bit of music, and that makes it all okay. This is what settles me down whenever these rounds happen. Whenever the weird things come on in, you just get a little bit of that beautiful music, and everything's okay. Feel like I'm sipping a cocktail in a fancy hotel lobby, and then I open my eyes, and I'm disappointed.
Well, I'm hoping you don't say stuff like that to your girlfriend, because that was kind of rude. I'm having a wonderful dream. I wake up and I'm disappointed.
And I see you. No. Well, I do, but, you know, that's not the point.
Oh, dear Lord. Well, a bit more of a passive round. Neff looks to try and peek into the window, but the rotation needs to come into this A site. It is going to be a push in that direction. You can see Bulbasaur is going to try and hold into the connector. Ronan in a fairly aggressive position. They should check for this. Somewhere from Palace that you can normally spot. At least a pixel, especially now that he's wiggled his way out. He has to go for the fight. It's awkward, but he's going to win it. And there isn't an option for a trade as Splashgate's been able to hold the line eventually. Or he's just going to run in through and Splashgate goes out. He had the back of the site for himself and they're all just peeking one by one. There's only 25 seconds left on the clock. They look like they had this round dead to rights. Instead, after a bounce back, Spiels goes down. It's left all onto Neff. He needs this headshot and he's not going to find it. Huat Zai, they continue as they mean to go on by losing a round that they never should.
Pretty much, yeah. I'd love... So we can't get the exact...
In the end, Neff does take one of his teammates, and Ronan's caught another. They're making this one costly at least. And oh, is he going to get Wang as well? He's jumped over the top. It's the Glock facing off against the Deeg, and Wang will just about come out on top. Still, though, a good opportunity for Splash K to bring this one back. He's got his Deagle full HP, and with Wang only on 2, it could be short-lived.
Splash K is on his way through. Oh, he's going to swing into the low HP Wang. And although he gets Wang, he doesn't manage for Sakai. Yeah, I think that's something we could look into, Tom. Yeah, we could try to help him out a little bit, see if we can put Dinko in contact with Wang. Yeah, never mind, he might already be in contact with him. I feel like he's almost working with Wang on a daily basis at this point, so might not be necessary. We might see some big improvements soon.
Oh, a 5-man nade purchase. Going to be the nuke thrown down, banana and into mid. It really hasn't done that much damage, but Spiels does manage to get away with a kill. Trade from Marek is fairly risky, but he does get away with it and leaves them a Mac 10 as a gift. Still going to be a couple of players around this angle they have to be careful of. One of them being Neff, who they have walked past. They walked straight past him. Straight past him. Still no communication there, because they definitely spotted him by that point. They 100% had seen him because they shot at him, and they still didn't tell Bingo. So Bingo's been killed. This round is becoming more costly just by sheer communication problems for After Gaming. Beals and Splashgate are going to try and do some more damage, and with Marek already low, there's some potential here.
Oh, Splash K, really nice stuff. And Spiels in a 1v2 with no bomb planted. He can definitely go for this. He has the info on where both players are as well. And while Wang might be standing tall, a hard member to take down in the position that he's in, I think that might be enough to scare Spiels away. He was in a rough position there. He started to really just get pounded by Wang as that swing came through. But Sakai was the one to take the kill to finish it off.
Well, they do eventually convert the rounds, but it's not gone particularly well. Bulbasaur actually sticking with the MP5. I honestly think it might be the worst SMG that we currently have in the game.
Yeah.
I don't rate it at all.
I mean, there was a point made a while back that it's basically the MP7, but it's nostalgic. It's worse. Like, it is statistically worse. It's just nostalgic.
Okay. Wow. Clearly we're wrong. Instant headshot through smoke. Why not? There are always players that like to play a niche. Like, you see Chris J regularly play an MP7, which it's an alright gun, but I feel like if you're on the T side, Mac 10 is cheaper and seems to do the same job. And well, MP9 over on the CT side, again, cheaper and probably better if anything. Chris manages to make it work. Yeah. There are 3 players here for the CT side already. Neff is up above, watching down. This is normally good for at least a kill, and he will just fall off the second it's found.
You can see after slow approach this round, right? They're really just trying to work it out and find the numbers of Huat Zai, figure out exactly what they're doing, but it looks like nobody's going to be shouting bingo this time because they haven't found all the numbers, unfortunately. They haven't got 5 in a row, or at least they're going to have to find them now because currently they're staring at a blank card. And at this point, I think always best chance is just to save this AK, which is quite deflating because they're not going to have much cash for the next round. Not going to have any. And this will cripple him then for their next buy round. Unless he manages to maybe save the 8k, or unless they go for a force buy. Oh, if he gets away with saving it, he's been spotted now. Even though he finds that kill, the CTs are going to flock towards him because they want to drop him after time. He has to win every duel, and he's tucked away. He should be okay. Oh, I thought he was going to peek.
Well, the CT side, they convert the first buy round. And we have to say that so far, in terms of the recent results on this map, it's been one of the better looking ones for Huat Zai. Beating D13, checkmate, losing in close fashion to checkmate again, and then to Sigma. So the game we saw versus Vici, not a bad one, and they went close versus Invictus. So they definitely can play this map. The problem being is after have picked into it. Now, we haven't really seen them play it. In fact, I believe the time they did, they lost. So I'm not really sure what the decision making was there. I'm guessing it's a map that they've been working on. They lost to Tiger earlier in the tournament, and was it early in the tournament? No, I don't think it was. But either way, it was a fairly convincing win for Tiger, so I'm not really expecting much from them here. But I'm interested to see why this is the map that they went for. Maybe because Mirage was taken away from them and they didn't know what else to choose, but it seems like in that choice they've picked into a map that Huat Zai very much like to play.
That's what I was saying in the pre-show, right? I was confused that after chose this, I would have imagined it was favored of Huat Zai, but the fact that they chose it makes me believe they've got something up their sleeve. For now, they've not got anything up their sleeve. At least not in the previous round. Getting shut down. They're going to be leaving Marek down to a Mag 10. Everybody else buying up, and Wang, oh, he's pulled out that big two-handed weapon. He is going to need everything to hold on to that, because it hits hard. And Wang's going to be looking to take down some enemies with it. The op in play. As Wang looks on to top middle, but nobody for him to spray on into. So
you don't spray with an AWP.
Well, I didn't say it was with the AWP. Could have taken his Glock out. You never know.
You don't really spray with the Glock either.
Triple burst, that's technically a spray.
I feel like I clutched at straws a little bit there.
You know, maybe I'm not grabbing onto it properly, but it takes a while. You know, you got to get used to it. A whole new world. So we look at Wang moving in towards top mid and taking the A site. At least that's what he wants to do. He spotted out these... He was spotted out for a second, but there's smokes down, so moves back to Banana. Looks for a couple more victims, but the smoke that's aggressively gone in steals away all the control. Why are they still two men here? I suppose with the position they're in, it's all right, but I would rather fall back, have one playing car, and an A rotate. Wang picks up an opening now on the short. and they're still not rotating. This is going to work out for them.
It's a bit of a weird one. Are they going to check the corner? They will, and Oi gets the kill. Bulbasaur has managed to find one back in return. Now, they are starting to run out of time, and the peak from Ronan, it's so risky, but it pays off. 25 seconds on the clock. They have to make a decision here. The peak from Bingo suggests that they might be making a move into the A site. Flashbang's over. Don't catch Neff at all. And Ronan is not checked on the cross. After gaming, it seemed like they had everything working out for them, but maybe slightly overthinking this round has actually ended up costing them completely. It will be 3-3. Huat Zai break back. And again, we're starting to see the sort of highlight plays we like from Ronan. They're risky. They're aggressive. But in these cases, they work.
Like a charm. Like an absolute charm. 3-3. Huat Zai getting exactly what they needed out of that round. And now it looks like the boys over on Wang's team are just completely run dry. They're going to have to come into this round with nothing but a couple of deagles. Their weapons previously big and hard to take down, now small and presumably easy to handle. At least they should be. I mean, there's always the difficulty of being on Inferno. There are some close range opportunities offered up. And it looks like it's going to be a slow approach by After, giving time for Huat Zai to take range duels and not really be under too much pressure.
Oh, Wang at least gets one, but eventually he falls. Ronan's starting to get into the rhythm of things, and this is something we like to see. 10-3. Didn't have a particularly good... Well, he had an alright first map, but he didn't have a Ronan first map. Bear in mind, the first time we saw him play this one, he got 38 kills and they lost, which, take that as you will. It definitely seems like a map he enjoys playing. And I think that's something for younger players especially that's very, very important. Like, you're going to get the timings much better. Your aggressive plays are just going to be more comfortable, more natural. Especially on a map like Inferno, I feel like being confident in the plays that you're going to be making is super important. Because there are a fair few risky faces that you're going to make to try and find information. You consider on the A side at the moment, they've just stuck him in the pit, which is where you a lot of the time see your most clinical aimer. Like, you'll put a Twist, a Rops, a Brolin will be placed in the pit and just be an immovable object. On the B site, however, we've got Splash K now set up with the AWP. Molotov going to be thrown deep. That actually causes him to rotate away, but it looks like he's just trying to set up a nade. That could do a fair bit of damage, but not quite as much as he probably would have liked.
It definitely tickled Wang a little bit, and Sakai.
Extra bit of chip damage, I guess. But here comes the push. Spiels in position. Headshot connected, but they've got to be careful of the man looking to jump over the top of the boxes. And yes, he didn't know that was a thing. This smoke has whiffed completely, but luckily, Splashgay's not going to capitalize.
Well, now, how to After approach this? I mean, still 4v4, definitely winnable for Huat Zai. They've got utility plenty from those A players rotating in. Bulbasaur chucking in a Molotov. Where did his Molly go? What? Oh, wait, did he only throw it now? I don't know. I think I misread his utility, but they've cleared out the back left at least. They know there's no players there, but the time, no kills. Ronan Baby picks up Bingo. They're so low on time. Are they going to push this? No, you can't do it anymore. Run away. Run away. Don't push this. Jeez, I think they were thinking about boosting up there for a second as well. That was ridiculous. Okay. Good utility usage by the T's, though, to block them out at least. Delay a little bit of time. Huat Zai, they just couldn't get in there in the end. You saw early on, Wang obviously had the intention of holding... He was down in pit just watching top mid, which was odd to me because they had players up there. So there was like a double commit. If anybody swung out on mid, they would have three guys looking at them. But Wang pulled out, went over towards Banana, took the control for them. And having him being able to clear out all those angles towards Car and then immediately peek on the corner is what gives them the confidence to take Banana so aggressively, but without using too much utility.
Well, with the streak of rounds won by Huat Zai prior to this, they still had plenty of cash to keep themselves in this next round. Weird, they've kind of just sent Oi on his own to fight for Banana. Everybody else is relatively passive. In fact, Marek is actually just going to be setting up a flash, which only blinded Oi. I'm not even sure what that flash was attempted for. Like, it only reached Banana, and he was already out in Banana. If it had gone over into towards the top section of it, I could maybe understand, but I think he just messed up his flash, if I'm being brutally honest.
Oh, we're going to look towards the after side. Bit of Banana control. And top mid as well. So they're pressuring across the map, but they haven't really gone for any noise on B just yet. A smoke comes over, but it's not indicative of a push. If anything, they're trying to sell a fake right now and just bait out that utility from the CT side. Splashes him falling for it, though. He doesn't want to throw his molly down and not have it for when they actually start a push. Good decision-making by him. At least he can stop them crossing the site, but that flash out, oh, it blinds him. It wrecks him. Wang, what a fantastic angle. He just threw that flash over, blinding them, allowing Oi to take that kill. Spiels manages to trade back with an aid, but he's locked out of really doing anything. That was gorgeous. That's what we've been looking for from after. Something like some support on the entry. Bingo thought he had a god tier flank, but with him falling, it's now very winnable for Huat Zai. They are going to go for this retake.
The only worry for me is they're all coming from the same angle, so more of a chance to trade effectively, but it's going to be much more difficult to clear out Wang. Quick trades. They can't really afford trades, but that shot's nice from Oi. And as said, clearing out Wang's not going to be easy at all. 5-4 in favor of After Gaming. CT side, again, still have enough money, but it's a bit of an awkward one. And with SplashK buying an AWP, I don't actually know how that's going to work for them. Interestingly, I do want to know where this nade was thrown from. I think it was lined up by Spiels. I think he was lining that up for literally about 30 to 40 seconds. Where he was just, every time we switched to him, he was just stood in ruins holding an HE, ready to, I assume, bounce it over into the pool. And I think that's a really cool nade to have. The only problem is it made it a bit awkward for his teammate.
Yeah.
Had to do a lot. Marek is going to get a trade, which, to be honest, in the early stages of the round is absolutely fine for the T side. This is aggressive, though. They're going to try and take full banana control. And if the T's spotted how many players are actually over on this B site, they'd know that the A is probably going to be a little bit more vulnerable.
I agree in the previous round as well, though. I think one of the problems going in for the retake was not having to smoke to go towards banana. Not blocking off that angle gives so much support towards the side player that Oi could just tuck in pool and feel pretty confident that his back was covered because they couldn't come out on site without Wang seeing them. And once he's kind of locked in, once he gets himself into that position and he's holding such a tight angle, it's really hard to get Wang back out. And it takes a lot. You got to really throw yourself at him. Nice shot by Sakai. He's coming in with some great entries. Bingo falls, but that might not be Bingo for Huat Zai. They've got a couple more numbers to find. Ronan, baby, he's tucked away in pit and hasn't been spotted just yet, but they should suspect him to be around here. They certainly do.
Well, you'll get there in the end. Go on. Attempt number 8. Never mind. The thing is, if he lands one of those, they might actually have had a chance, but unfortunately he doesn't. After gaming, they're going to get themselves further into the lead. Looking good on the T side. 6 rounds up, and the CTs now have finally run out of cash. Nice shot from Sakai. The entries from him, very good in this round. That's something I will give credit to After. They got a lot of players who will just run the gauntlet and go for those entry frags. There's not really someone I'm looking at going, oh, they're sort of holding back or they're playing more passive. They will just go all in together, which I think is at least a good, promising sign. Spiels is already going to spot out someone aggressively up banana. It is Wang with the AWP, which I'm not a huge fan of considering the economic circumstance of their opponents in this round. To be that far up alone with an AWP, if they just naded or rushed it, he would be dead and that would be into enemy hands. So yeah, maybe a slight unnecessary risk, but hey, it's worked out for them anyway.
Yeah, it's the problem, right? Whenever you've got that op, if you're in a position by yourself and the CTs decide to run and jump right on you, you're in a lot of trouble because you're not going to be able to deal with more than one enemy. But luckily, they're not jumping all over Wang. They're giving him a little bit of space to play with, so his teammates come back around. And now they're looking to have some fun as a group as they move in towards this B site. But the pistols are up close. and they're looking to deal some damage. What was that? Why is Marek pushing by himself? Where's the support? Guys, hello? What are we doing? Wang's there. He's fired off a shot and pulled back, but dude, every fight, every single... Oh, they flashed long after he's already peaked? What was the point? This is silly. Every fight that they've taken... Okay, yeah, it's a 4v1. They only lost one player. But every fight they took was one by one. No support. Sakai peaked long before the flash was even thrown, I think. That's wild. They deserve to lose that round, honestly. Like, the only difference between that being a good and a bad round for after is whether Huat Zai hit their shots. Now, I know that's kind of a silly thing to say, because that's the difference between every round, right? If you headshot your opponents. But what I'm saying is the strategy, the approach was very bad by after. It gave all the opportunities to Huat Zai. And you have enough of an advantage already with the rifles, sure, but you definitely don't want to try to give them any sort of lifeline back in.
Oh. Once again, we're going to see an early challenge for Banana. Some utility set up to try and get them pushing down. Oh, that is risky. He's run through the smoke. They know he's there. Now they have 1, 2 HEs. They do know he's there, right? I'm sure they saw him. Maybe X-ray just gave me slight delusions, but I could have sworn he ran into the open for a second there. He's now managed to cross over to the other side. So if they still don't know he's here, I'm going to lose it.
Well, we'll see in just a second, I'd imagine. After start to make their way in towards this, Spiels could be catching them completely blindsided. Because like with that molly placement, they definitely don't know he's here. They have no idea. They're abandoning banana control instead, looking to move over towards the A side. Bulbasaur caught in the open. He's down to 13 health. Yeah, he called for a flash. Great work. Great flash by Ronan as well. Now he's up to the AK, and he's going to push all the way through, try to find the early flank around on these short players. This won't be expected, surely. And there it is, a free kill to come through by Bulbasaur to finish this one off. Really good round by Huat Zai. That was much more structured than what we've seen before. Good reactions. They call for flashes off each other. They play together. That's what I want to see.
Oh, we'll see if it continues. I do think that they got a little bit lucky with that banana push, though. I think there's a world where either he gets domed through smoke or it just gets cleared properly. And then who knows, that might have opened up a road straight onto the B site. T's, though, they still have money for now. Finances will start to slip over the next couple of rounds, but 7 rounds on the T side isn't bad. The only problem is I'm not sure how much faith I actually have in Aftergaming's CT side, so I have to wait and see for that. This is risky. Again, Spiel's just trying to walk through smokes. It makes me so uncomfortable that this is the game plan on Banana. And in fact, with that not working, they've now given up Banana. That is a little bit ludicrous, that's for sure. The T's will eventually take that control. Here comes this flashbang again. It does actually flash the guy at top Banana, so I guess it sort of works. But they're too late. It's pointless, and they're just going to get mowed down. Wang at least will trade one back, and actually, Splash K with a wide peak. Do they expect the third man, though, Mitch? What are the bets? By the looks of it, no, and Wang peaks while his teammates mollied off. This round is irritating.
Mm-hmm.
They flash too early, so it's pointless. And then, even in the 2 versus 3, it's just a solo peek by Wang rather than waiting for his teammates so that they could at least trade and get the bomb down. Now, Oi I guess he's just gone to save.
It's a bit of an odd one. Just in the previous round, we compliment Huat Zai's use team play, right? They're actually playing off of each other well. And then in this one, after come through and they show what the opposite looks like in spectacular form. Even down to that last peak, yeah, like, well, why is Wang swinging when Oi is mollied off? There's absolutely no way he can help him. But I feel like sometimes these guys go based on individual feeling and not necessarily thinking about the bigger picture. And that's definitely a problem. Like, when you look at the position that they're in at the moment, 7 rounds is fine, Tom, realistically. You know, I don't think we're going to see after crying, but they need to build up a couple more. When you've got this kind of early scoreline, you don't want to allow your opponents to build right back into it. And it's something that even recently when we spoke to Angel, you remember they were getting smacked out in a map. And obviously in a different game, but it's player mentality is what I'm tying it into. And they managed to get 4 rounds before the game ended, which in Counter-Strike equivalent would be about 6. And the thing he said was that moving on to the next map, then they felt so much more confident. Because at least, you know, they managed to get it working towards the end. Yeah. And it might not look like it. You know, to most people, if you lose 16-0 or 16-5, you got wrecked. But it's the fact that they knew that they were fixing the problems a little bit. They just felt a little bit more comfortable. Like, okay, we took a couple rounds. It's the whole, like, Predator thing. If it bleeds, we can kill it. And I think for Huat Zai, if they manage to get up to 8-7, which now is quite likely, considering they're dominating this round as well, you then end up in a spot where it's like, they're bleeding. We can kill them. We can overtake them. This is a map that looks better for us realistically. And I would fear for after, really, if they lose this next round, because this, even at this stage, because they've given Huat Zai such a boost of momentum that it no longer feels like, even though at 8-7, Huat Zai have lost the half, right? They've not got the good position to play from. It doesn't feel like they've been dominated.
They do have an opportunity in this round. Double up setup for the CT side as Neff will now have the secondary. They're going to go for this banana control again. It's been working fairly well. Wang, however, is going to kill off Neff, so maybe not the right risk. They should know that there's a player here. There we go. Nice work, Bulbasaur. He's not going to fall for the trickery. And again, it managed to get banana. And the thing is, after gaming, I've not done a very good job of reclaiming it. It shouldn't be that hard. I don't think that Huat Zai have done anything particularly impressive. Or is he going to be the only man challenging it with 22 HP? I don't even know anymore. Like, they played that angle like 6 times. And somehow this has actually worked out for them. Now, they could just head towards the B side. They've killed the man on Deep Banana. They don't actually opt to go for the wraparound. What is going on? This is just so hesitant.
Yeah, you take a look at the player. Oh, this is so good. Bingo. Great flank. Push, though. Spiel's almost got so much done. You could see... Oh, Sakai team killed Wang. Good lad. When we were in mid there, Sakai and Wang were like going back and forth and back and forth. It was like the server was frozen and it was just repeating again and again. Because they're like, go B, go A, go B, go A, go B, go A. They didn't know what to do. And eventually the decision was made, obviously, to just stand there and wait for something to happen. But they heard the steps on short. Bingo's reaction to get that flank through was great. I fear for them if Bingo didn't move, because I think they would have just stood here all day. No, that's fortunate for Sakai. But yeah, overall, 8-7, it's a very, very good scoreline for after. They are ahead by quite a bit coming into this half. And for Huat Zai, you want to see them get up to a couple early rounds because they don't want this to slip away. It's hard to build up rounds on the T side. But I am feeling a little bit more confident about their ability because obviously this is a map that they do well on typically. And the fact that we've seen great team play. There's a great flash. Shots missed. Sakai manages to trade out Neff. Marek with another... Oh, this is going very poorly. The flashes actually caught some of the T's with their own flashes. Oh, no! Let's pretend we didn't see that. I'm just going to say now, PGL, please do not give us a replay of that Glock spray down. We don't need to see it.
I feel like by saying that, you're almost asking for it to come up, but, you know. We'll see. We are going to have an investment back in from the T side. God, it was definitely... It didn't even look good from that position. You could tell there were a lot of shots being missed, but they do it some nice ones in the end. Nade lined up into second mid. I think that will actually catch someone. Maybe not. Ronin's been tagged low, though. Might have been the initial scout battle. Normally, if I do see force buys into these sort of rounds, I'd much rather have some like Tech 9's P250s and just aggressively try to push into one of these sites. I feel like getting D kills on this can be relatively difficult, but if the CTs keep fighting, maybe not.
Yeah, well, a little bit of overextension can cost you a lot in a round like this. And Wang's already been lit down to 1 HP, lucky to be alive at this point. And we're going to see a short push by Bingo. There's a flash over at least, and it doesn't catch Ronan. Back turn. Nice shot with the Deagle. There was a 180 swing. The runaround by Neff gets another, and this is falling apart. Good shot by Wang. 1 HP, but he's still able to deliver. The problem is, even with Wang penetrating the box for a frag, it's a 2v3 retake of B. Oh, Marek! Full HP, spray down through the smoke. Bulbasaur's gone, and this is winnable. But with Wang being so low, I doubt they go for this. The smoke down says they will, and they've got another. It's all down to this play by Splash K, who jumps through the smoke for a double. Glorious work as Huat Zai taken 8th. What a crazy round.
I almost just want to watch this back. Like, it's just peak after peak. Like, normally in these rounds, comparatively, when you see a good team play, they will sit back and use the weaponry to their advantage. In this case, After Gaming decided, you know what, we don't want to do that. We want to try and run into the Deegs and just give them 1v1 duels. So it's just silly play, really. Like, they're allowing Huat Zai back into the game, and the Huat Zai, this was something we sort of mentioned previously, that they had a lot of opportunities in the last map. They were handed a lot of rounds. They handed away a lot of rounds as well. So I don't think this is really going to come down to what map we're playing on at this point. I think it's just going to come down to who makes the least mistakes.
Well, I mean, that's what it was in the previous map as well, right? Who made the least mistakes as opposed to who was playing the most perfect Counter-Strike, let's say. Wang's been eliminated straight away in this one. It's a force buy for after, so not one where they want to be losing players early on, but they're dropping like flies, and this is going to be a very quick round. Can't even get the CZ out in time, or Spiels overruns Oi and takes him down. A 5-7 left to 1v5. Not even one going to be found.
Yeah, perfect for Huat Zai. They're going to get themselves a big boost of cash by winning that second round, by being able to retrieve a little bit of extra weaponry. Now they get to win that one almost flawlessly, or completely flawlessly, in fact, using a lot of SMGs. And now the CT side aren't actually going to have much of an investment here. So, yeah, they're in a very, very good position financially. And the CT side, oh, it looks like they're just going to stack up into this B site. Every single member going to be waiting here. We're going to have the Pyramid of Death by the looks of it. As Neff, not going to get anything really. One kill at least. The rest of the team's still going to be facing into this angle. And it is a firing squad facing off against the USPs. 10-9. At least a kill comes up. But still, the money, as said, is going to be booming for Huat Zai. And now we need to see something from the side of After Gaming. Wang at least will have his AWP, and the rest of the side have rifles, but they don't have much utility, Mitch, which is something we talk about all the time on Inferno, being so crucial. In fact, a lot of the time, I'd rather see an MP9 on B just to make sure that you have those extra pieces of utilities. They have 0 incendiaries, they have 1 HE, and barely any flashbangs as well. No kits. This is not a good purchase.
Oh, I like Wang. He was getting on top of his teammate for a second. I thought we were going to go for an interest in mid-peak. But instead, he just swings wide on the angle and takes one onto Ronan. But Bulbasaur, quick to find the trade, swings in the middle and takes a quick kill. Looking for a little bit more. Suspects a player to be under the balcony, but the timing is godlike for Bingo, who picks up the op and tucks away. Now a 4 versus 3 as Huat Zai lose that advantage. And the swing on long. Oh, what a shot! The pre-fire by Neff is perfect. Just as Bingo got to the angle as well, he has got to feel hard done by that one.
It's on to Sakai. They're not going to expect anybody to be here by the looks of it. Neff goes down. Oh, he's jumped midway way through the spray. He still gets away with the kill. Ah, that is a message sent by the spacebar jump gang, as he has clearly knocked his mouse wheel there. One will be planted though. Splash K attempting this 1 versus 2. If the CTs play this together, they've won it for sure. And while they don't even really need to, the jump across to the pit is not going to pay off. And After Gaming do break back. As said though, especially with that bomb plant added in, the money is going to be in a very, very good position for Huat Zai. And if they manage to win this one right back, it could spell trouble for After Gaming.
I mean, this one started out so nicely. I love that. That wide swing onto Bingo was just beautiful. The pre-fire, everything about it went so well. But in the end, it doesn't matter. Because we come back into this round with a full buy for the CT side, and the T's do the same. Look at the nade damage. Ronan Bobasaur lit down very, very low. That is a great start on the mid nades. Huat Zai, I've got to feel a little bit upset about that. Oh, Spiels
even more.
Takes a tag as well. And this, well, he returns it because Marek just tried to push through a smoke. Why? Well, they did smoke a little bit deeper, so he thought that maybe that would push them back. But unfortunately, it absolutely did not. The nade going through. More damage done. Ronan now down on 12 health. Bulbasaur on 28. That could have been a double kill with the nade if it was thrown into mid rather than bouncing off the post wall.
B. They've gambled. There's no one on B. This round is over. Yeah, they did everything right up until the point where they just try and run through that smoke. And I sort of mentioned it in the last half that the way that they were doing it was silly because it was too shallow a smoke to get into that position. And I was waiting for them to get caught, and it never happened. And well, it finally happened on the other side of things. So yeah, I just completely unnecessary play, and After Gaming pay the price for it.
And a hefty price it was. Coming into the next round, you know, you have to be realistic with what After are going to be running with. It's not going to be a great buy from them. I do imagine that 2 players will be going for the force up. They can buy armor alongside utility and get a weapon dropped over to them by one of their teammates, but it will be down to like a FAMAS and a pistol more than likely, maybe an SMG. Still gives them an okay chance, presuming Bingo doesn't go hard for utility. Should be dropping a FAMAS over. No tactical timeout being called just yet. I mean, they're going to hard commit towards this as well. Are we not? Oh, okay. Sakai buys down to 1k. He's not going to have enough to buy in the next round. Neither's Wang, neither's Oi. Why would you not just drop a FAMAS at this point? You're going to have to double eco anyways. Tom, am I missing something? Am I going delusional?
I think we all are at this point.
Like, why is... So Marek's 1800. He could buy nades, armor, and get a FAMAS drop to him. Then you've got to
because they're going to win this round, so it doesn't matter.
Fair enough.
They're just planning for the extra money for the next round, but they know they're going to win this one already, obviously. Like Wang's going to ping some headshots. There we go. They're sat behind their own smoke at the moment on Banana, but eventually they will take it through. A little bit of utility being expended. The boost in play, Midge. They cannot lose this round because once one enters the boost, one is invisible to the human eye. No one can ever spot this position. He's whipped the spray! That's the easiest kill ever!
I don't know what I like more. Watching you descend into madness. Well, that's it. That's what I like. Or watching the failed plays, but I don't enjoy that. I don't know why I thought I would say I did. Nice shot. Spiels, he's dead. Okay, this is oh my god, they are actually going to win this round, aren't they? This is ridiculous. Splash K's got a no-scope, but Nev's got a 1v3, and it's not going to happen. After win this round, they don't deserve to. I don't want them to, but here we are. Like,
Call me clairvoyant Tom. Clairvoyant Biz. There you go.
Jesus. Because on Inferno especially, we see the highest rate of force buys, right? CT side, you're going to get a lot done on the close range angles. It just doesn't make sense why they wouldn't have a FAMAS extra and a better investment from Sakai.
What do you mean, Mitch? It makes perfect sense.
Of course, yeah.
When you have an all-seeing eye, such as myself.
What is it, Zoner? Is he here? Hello, Zoner?
Zoner is with us all. He is always watching.
He's always watching, yeah. Literally.
Whenever you feel like you're alone, you're not alone. A Zoner is always watching.
He's omnipresent.
He may appear, you know, in
the greatest
in different
minds.
Forms.
The greatest
Sometimes
minds.
It's what was his other name? Like
Mechanogun.
Mechanogun. There you go. So he can appear in many different names and faces. For anybody who doesn't realize, this is the coach from Hard Legion who got banned for using the bug.
In like 900 games.
Yeah. This is one of the more blatant circumstances. But yeah, for his teammates for a few months, he was the all-seeing eye of Counter-Strike. But they didn't know he was doing it, of course. Because, how could they? He was a genius. Here we go again. They're going to push into this B site. It's going fairly well for the CT side so far, with Big Wang stacked on the coffins. That's a sentence I never thought I'd say out loud. 12 to 11. Huat Zai, their cash has started to become a little bit awkward now, and after gaming have taken the lead once again with that fantastic decision to invest half of their money into a round. They have managed to win not only this round, but a second in a row. And now they're in a much better position. All praise be to Zona.
We're starting a new religion.
Wouldn't that
here.
be the funny thing? Is in like 1,000 years if there was a religion based around Zona, because people read stories of a man who could see everything from the sky.
what is going on?
It's true though.
Sort of
like,
deep
if
rabbit
the story gets twisted a little
We
bit,
get cryogenetically
like,
frozen. We come out and we just see Zoner's face everywhere. It's like, oh, by the grace of Zoner, you have been revived. Like, what? Some Stargate. Stargate stuff going on. Stargate's an Unreal show, by the way. Stargate SG-1. Banging. Yeah, it's the funny thing as well, what you were saying about it being one of the more blatant cases. Yeah, it was like some of the other coaches was like did it in one game, did it in one round. So like it was, some of them, I believe, it was genuinely just a bug that they encountered, and like they reconnected to the server and stuff after. So it's like, okay, well that's not bug abuse, is it? But then there's like this guy. So it happened in 72 maps. Or all the rounds.
I just imagine, like,
I thought they changed the coaching rules. Like, I don't know.
Well, yeah, just something where, like, it's almost like a specific brand of video where you might get stuck somewhere. I think most people know where I'm going with that, and it's like, oh no, I have fallen and I cannot get up. What a shame. I will have to watch the whole game from this POV and feed my team information. What a terrible... I just can't imagine like how to anyone even try and justify it. But obviously he's been removed from the team. So props to Hard Legion for getting the job done. Realizing that this man cannot be trusted. Nice shots from Wang though. I trust him with my life in some situations.
Yep.
Bingo is going to be in the mini pit. They've got a crossfire with pit. This crossfire is very difficult to break down unless, of course, you turn around and give that position away. There is no reason for Sakai to peek this, so obviously, logically, he's going to peek it. Clairvoyant Tom is back. The funny thing is, it was so obvious he was going to wide peek that. And it's just infuriating. Like, that was the most predictable play. But luckily, they've already won the round. Wang has been killing it again. He's had a great series. I would definitely say he deserves the win. Not going to comment on some of the other players. But 14-11 after, and now firmly in the driver's seat. They are looking to just close this one out in a 2-0 fashion. Prove that Dinko always had faith in the Wang.
Well, listen, we know that Dinko loves After because he loves Sakai. Thinks his decision making is very similar to Dinko's own decision making that we've seen in the past. And he loves Wang. I mean, that's just a fact of life.
Oh,
that's a good trade. It's a good start. Problem is they can't allow this to slip any further. They've lost control over CT, and it has to be Marek in with a massive hold. He's got to be an immovable object at the moment. They don't know where he is, so he'll get the jump on one player, and it's the rifle dropped. Good start, but he allows them to retrieve it. He's backing away. It's the right call, but is he going to go back out? Oh, the fact that he gave up the angle in the first place made me think he was going to wait for his teammates, but he didn't give a damn. And in the end, he gets the reward for it with the 3K, closing out the round 15-11. As After Gaming are now close to finishing this one off. And it has to be said that it wouldn't be possible without Wang. Jokes aside, this guy's actually unreal. I really enjoy watching him. Like, when you look at his play, when it comes down to more aggressive play, he is unbelievable at hitting some of these shots. His flicks are nutty. But I do still agree. Obviously,
he's got a P90. Sorry.
Who's got a P90? Oh my God.
Can we get Ronin cam? We need a Ronin cam. Like, this... People don't play P90. It's not a good gun. He's going in. He's running. He got a kill! The Pro 90. Every silver's dream. And Oi has just shut them down. It's left all onto Splash K. He should just pick up the P90 at this point for the meme. Instead, he's going to try and show his butt cheeks to the last man just before he dies. A little bit of a... you could call him Flash K instead of Splash K. And yeah, that's going to be it. After Gaming, they have won this series. The battle of the bottom, as you could say, is going to be won by Wang.